Yo, what up, Toshi here? Welcome back to another Etheria restart video. In this video, we're going to be pulling at the end of it, as per usual, and I want to talk about a few things when it comes to the PvP RTA in this video before we do pull. This is going to be the bulk of the video. Now, as for real-time arena, I will not be participating in real-time arena anytime soon, and I have zero plans to participate in real-time arena. I'm going to explain to you why. It's still not loading, whatever. As I've started playing the game more and more, I've started to realize this game is very imbalanced in terms of playstyles as of right now. For the most part, most people are just cleaving, right? Like 95% of players are just cleaving right now. Cleaving. And this is kind of an issue with just in general with this game. Defensive options feel pretty weak. I feel like a character like Chiaki should be able to cleanse. She doesn't cleanse at all. She just heals. And I think that's a very bad thing. Not cleansing with this character feels bad at times, especially when you're just getting hit with a ton of debuffs. Like, imagine playing a dot team against, and you have this character as your support. Obviously, you wouldn't do that, but it just feels horrible. 4-star character feels pretty bad when you're fighting against enemies that have a lot of debuffs. There's a ton of debuffs, and debuffs stack really, really well in this game. But that's not even the issue. That's just a part of the issue. You have characters like Mio, characters like Lily, right? Just super duper ridiculously strong in RTA and enforce the cleave, take turn one like playstyle. And then you have characters like Messiah just straight up cleaves the enemy's defense, gives himself invincibility, which doesn't matter too much, because by this point you're like, the enemy team is dead, right? Like 70% ignore defense, high multiplier increase, like the enemies are just dead. And considering it ignores defense, any extra damage you get towards a skill is just going to just do even more damage. To the point where the defense you have on your characters don't even matter. And most of the time, you're going to have a squishy team regardless. So your team is just going to die. Whoever takes turn one just wins. And that is an issue with the game currently. Now, that's part of the reason why I was hoping the game didn't release real-time arena literally anytime soon. Because the game is not ready for real-time arena. And I'm not trying to knock the company. I'm not trying to knock XD Entertainment, right? I'm not trying to knock the game itself. I think the game is fun. The game is great. And I think the game should definitely have a PvP-focused esports nature if they want to take the game in that direction. I just think as of right now, having the game literally have RTA release is such a bad thing. It's just not ready. Now, obviously, for many players out there, you probably disagree with me because maybe you are a player that is already into the end game. You probably refresh each day, so your characters are built, your team is built. You have a lot of characters that help you with cleaving, so you're not really looking at this as an issue. Maybe you got a bunch of speed rolls and your account is great, right? So you're not complaining, you're doing your thing. Well, let me tell you this, okay? The gap right now between players is imbalanced. The whales have so many resources that they can just utilize in the early game to mid game, right? In late game, it doesn't matter so much more. But in the early to mid game, it matters especially because while I'm level 24, close to 25 without refreshing, and I've been playing every day using my stamina before it caps, using my stamina pods, I've been using as much stamina as I can possible when I get the stamina. And I'm only level 24. And then you look in chat, and some players are already level 36. Just straight refreshing every single day, buying every single pack in the shop. You can't even compete. These players already have in-game characters. They already have in-game gear. The gap is just way too wide. And the reason why is because the game is monetizing its resources a lot heavier than other games. So for instance, usually in games like Epic 7, it's not hard to ascend skill characters. It's not hard to level up your characters. In this game, oh my god, it's actually really hard to level up your characters. It's hard to ascend your characters. Each character needs so many different resources, whether that's upgrading via, just books for the level of your character. And then you need stuff to upgrade the modules, right, which is your gear. You need a ton of gold to upgrade the gear. Thank goodness the gear doesn't fail when you upgrade like Summoner's War. At least I don't think Summoner's War does that anymore, but it did back in the day. Thank goodness, because this game feels very similar to Summoner's War than it does to other gacha games. And then you have the prowess to upgrade your skills, and the skills also give you, or the skill tree gives you stats towards your character, and you have to make sure that you use your perfect lattice on the right character because this is such a rare resource. but you can buy this resource in the shop. So whales are going to have more maxed out skills than a free-to-play or a player that doesn't spend money on the game, or a light spender, right? And then you have the shell, which you can upgrade as well. And this gives you stat bonuses, whether that's extra speed, which allows you to take turn 1 more consistently, and also gives you a very strong passive depending on the character utilizing it. Like for instance, I have my Messiah with this passive, gives him 600% attack before he then takes action. And this means he's going to deal even more damage with his ignore defense pen. Insane. You also can give even more stat increases to the character. This goes up to 15% if I'm not mistaken. Crazy. So you're giving your character so much more stats, but the whales have even more stats. They have characters that have higher skill, right? They have characters with stronger modules, which is your gear. The gap is way too wide right now. And the reason why is because the packs in this game are relatively cheap for the value you're getting in the pack. Like if we look at the summon packs, that matters definitely, because in the higher end of the PvP, most, if not all, the players are going to have Lily and Mia. So if you don't have those characters, it feels like you really can't compete as of right now. But what really matters is the packs that give you the resources, right? $31 gives you a skill level increase. It gives you a red shadow imprint, which allows you to ascend your characters. It gives you these, which allows you to imprint, right? Like you're getting so many resources for a relatively cheap price, while these resources for the average player is extremely hard to come across of. And then that's not even taken into consideration. Now that is just one pack. There is many more packs like this in the game, right? There's just so many more packs. There's weekly packs that give you a ton of resources as well. Boom. $31, you get another pack that also gives you a skill level increase. The amount you can spend for the value you're getting in this game is crazy. You get so much value for the amount you spend in this game. It is insane. For the average Joe Schmo, can't really compete. And I'm not saying I want free-to-play and whales to be on the same level. That, to me, does not matter whatsoever. I want whales to be able to have an advantage over free-to-play. I want whales to be able to crush free-to-play. That's the way the game should operate. If the game doesn't operate like that, then the game, in my opinion, is in a poor state, because then your whales have no incentive to continue spending. This is my point, and my whole argument here is that PvP should not even be in the game as of right now. RTA should not even be in the game as of right now, because it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now, the saving grace is that as of right now, there is a shop attached to the PvP. So if we go to Summon Arena, and then you have the shop here, the shop has some nice resources you can get, and you don't even have to worry about getting these items until, I would say, a few days before the shop does reset. So if you are a player that is looking to get into RTA but not right now because your account isn't up to par or your units are not built, then you have some time to get your characters built via the daily stamina and use the resources and manage your account until then. So you have time. That's not even the issue. The issue is just not being able to compete in the real-time arena whatsoever. I'm scared to play, I'll be honest. I know I'm going to get beat. Like, if we just look and compare, dude is almost level 40. How is that even possible? Again, just the amount of resources you spend. Has all the MLs in the game, you just can't compete. And you shouldn't be able to compete. But when this is so many players in the game, it just feels like there is no point in doing PvP. And this is a player that spent tons of money on the game. Imagine a light spender. A light spender is going to still have a massive advantage over you in the game, because it's very easy to get an advantage as a light spender in this game, because the packs are relatively cheap for the amount of value you get for the early to mid game. Because again, the game monetizes the daily resources a lot harder than the average game. Now, how they make up for this is what you're able to get via units in this game with summoning. They give you a ton of summon resources. So the characters, obtaining the characters aside from like the super rare Moonlight characters like Messiah, Lily, and Mia, for instance, if you don't have those characters, hide and reach, whoever you're looking for, Doki Doki. Aside from obtaining those Moonlight characters, which will definitely be a lot harder as the game goes on, we have a tale of this because the Moonlight pools are definitely a lot harder to get versus the regular pools. They throw out the purple pools to you like it's nothing, whereas the yellow pools takes a while to come across of. So you can still get units like that on the ML banner, on the pyramid banner. So you don't even have to worry about getting the ML units, right? Because you can get them, they can spook you on the other banners. But later on, it definitely becomes an issue because the resources you get is relatively low. even with the 1% chance, which in theory should help, but there is no soft pity on this banner. And that's also an issue. Now, the last thing I want to mention is that it's still a fun game despite all of these quote-unquote issues. The game is still fun. I will participate in PvP. I just think, for me personally, and any other player that is also free to play, is not even a good idea to partake in it as of right now. Because you just won't be able to compete. And when I say right now, I mean right now. Like, if I was to just go and do PvP right now, it's just no point. I would get steamrolled. And if it's not the players that are lightspenders, it's the players that have been refreshing every day that are free to play. But again, the free to play that are refreshing right now, it won't matter a year from now. It won't matter 6 months from now. It probably won't even matter 3 months from now. We'll all get to the end game eventually. And the end game, what matters the most is your RNG. That's it. That's my rant. I need to drink some water because my throat is so sore. That's my little rant. And that's why I won't be making any PvP focused videos. You're probably just wondering why I'm just doing summon videos for every video I upload on this game. And the reason why is because I just, there's no point in me competing in PvP. Now, I actually want to upload another video yesterday, but I wasn't able to because the video ended up not saving my audio file when I went to edit it. So long story short, I did another summon session, and we ended up not getting a light dark, but we ended up getting 3 RGB characters in the summon session. We ended up getting Lilith, who's a character I'm going to start building ASAP. She's going to be very nice for my control team, right? I got Linglo, which sucks because she's a character you get for free eventually. But getting her for the early to mid game is a huge power pool. We just will end up getting her on the 7th day. So, I mean, again, we can use her for now. She's a great healer. She's better than Shiaki, right? A lot better. And I ended up getting Suzuki Yomi, who is the character I want the most. And I ended up getting her from the permanent banner, just like the other characters. So she's a very valuable character for the team because she's going to give an additional turn and attack boost to the team. So for me, this is very valuable. I can give the attack boost and a turn meter push to my Messiah, and he's just going to shred even more. So yeah, I'm actually excited about that. I'm happy about that. But we have some more pulls to do. I'm hoping we can actually get Lily today. I'm hoping I can get Lily in every video, to be honest. But yeah, I guess I should have, to be honest, I could have ranted about PvP or talk about the RTA while I've been, pulling on the banner instead of sitting here talking about it first and then pulling later. Maybe I don't know. I'll figure out how I'm going to edit this, but I definitely feel like I could have talked about the RTA while I was pulling on the banner. We were 5 pity, so this is going to be 16 pity on the banner. So we should be able to get, well, there's not going to be anything here, right? So I don't even need to worry about that. So this should be 16 pity on the banner. This is 26 pity on the banner. I would love to get it early, but I'm not very hopeful about it. We're going to go ahead and skip this. At this point, I guess we can skip the SRs. So I guess she's new, right? I think she was a character you get for spitting money, by the way. You can make any purchase, and I think the game gave you Valerian, if I'm not mistaken. All right, this is our 36th pull, right? 36th. This is 46th. Man, we are going to pity. Not a problem. I would love to get Lily, though. I would love to get Lily. I want Lily so bad. This is 56th. I'm going to have to grind because I do want to pull. I do want to get the Moonlight pulls from the shop. And the shop does reset today, later today, if I'm not mistaken. Where's the shop? Summon shop. It resets. Wait, no, not this shop. Excuse me. It is the Hyperlink shop, the weekly pack. It resets in 11 hours. I do want to grind this out before it goes away and buy that from the shop. So we are currently 24 more pulls. We're past, the pity is 75. So this is our 50th one pull, right? So I guess I can do singles. Because obviously I don't want to just go ham with the gems if I don't need to. So this is 52. The earlier I can get it, the better, because then I can start grinding some more to get some more hydro crystals so I can get the pulls from the shop. Okay, here we go. Boom. This is earlier. 53. D. I want to see D. I want to see D. Not a D. Aww. Man. That's lame. I mean, I'm prioritizing the units over the stuff right now, the other resources, because, at a certain point, again, I'm not doing PvP. So for me, just getting the characters as of right now is the most important thing. And then later on, you can worry about the other stuff. I'm going to go ahead and buy this pack right now. This is me assuming that it does reset. If it doesn't reset, then there is no point in buying that pack, to be honest. Lifesteal and S1. So he's a DPS character. I'm not really interested in building him. I don't even like his design, to be honest. It's not even cool whatsoever to me. So overall, a net negative for the account, but I can't really complain because, I mean, still, the account has been blessed so far. I just know, again, at this point, it's going to be so hard to get Lily, man. I really genuinely am contemplating. I'm not even joking when I say this, like re-rolling, like dead serious. But I think re-rolling at this point is bad because if you were to re-roll in the game at this point, you've missed like what 3-4 days worth of resources, and on top of that, like this account, like to get back to this point would take more RNG and just take a lot of time. And I just don't have the patience for it anymore, man. We ended up getting bored and on the pity. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I'll see you all next video. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.